If you're watching this video, you probably have a SaaS that's doing $0 MRR. I do as well. And one of the things that we have to think about as developers, we have to think about forms, specifically waitlist form, contact us forms. And a lot of times, most developers, even companies, settle for something like a Google form or like Tally.so, which is like embeddable on the site. And as someone who prides himself in being a design-centric, a design-focused developer, this hurts me. As Next.js developers, we need better, we deserve better. And that's why two of my homies, Cameron and Bridger, which you should follow, by the way, because they're excellent Next.js developers and you can learn a lot from them. And if you want to up your game, shoot them a follow. They came together and built Router.so, which is a solution to our problems. It is a way to build forms, generate leads, capture leads that is Next.js native, that uses Chat.cn components, and that's open source where you can host it yourself. They're also the sponsor of today's video, but honestly speaking, this is a great product and I'm going to be using it and setting it up for one of my $0 MRR SaaSes. You can see here that I have a coming soon button that does nothing. I want it to take me to a waitlist form and I want people to be able to submit that form and I want to collect that information. So if you're ready, I'm going to show you how fast and how quickly I can set this up using Router.so. Let's get started. First things first, I go to my code base and I'm going to do npx, here's the command right here, @9db/router-start. I'm going to hit enter, and what this is going to do is this is going to create two routes. They have example routes for you. They have a contact page and then a waitlist page. I'm going to delete the contact page and I'm just going to use the waitlist page. And there's four things I see. I see an action.ts, form.tsx, page.tsx, and a schema.ts. The schema is the Zot schema, so here it's just an email, and then the page contains the component. Form.tsx is the form component, and they use Next.js 15 best practices like use action state. They're using the form component from Chat.cn UI. They use transition. So Next 15 and React 19 at your fingertips. And then there's an action.ts, and this basically handles the response, the capturing of the submission. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Router.so. I'm going to click login. And then all I have to do is click on endpoint, and I have to create a new form endpoint. I'm going to call this Mike waitlist. And then all I want really is to capture the email, and the email is going to be a type email. Now, one thing I could do is I can include a webhook, and basically when someone submits the form, I can fire to this webhook that data, right? And I'll show you how to set that up in a second, but let's just create a simple endpoint for now. All I'm going to do is click on this endpoint. And there's a couple things here. First and foremost, this is my URL endpoint. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to replace this in the action.ts with this right here. So I'm just going to drop that. And then I get an API key. So I'm going to copy this key, and this is going to be basically my router_API_key. So I'm going to put this in my .env real quick. I won't show you that part because I have some environment variables in there. So I added the API key. All I have to do is just run this. So I'm going to do run dev, and we're going to go to localhost 3000. I just want to make sure my middleware allows for a waitlist. Okay, I can access waitlist without being authenticated. So we're going to go to localhost 3000, and I want to go to waitlist. And there should be an unstyled form component. Perfect, I see it here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my email. Click that. It says message sent successfully. Now if I go to Router.so, I click on endpoint, and then I click on view leads. I can see an email submission here. And what's cool is I can even do another one. Let's do my other email, and let's submit that there. Let's refresh this. My email submission is here, and what I can do is I can export this as a CSV. I can put this in some email autoresponder like MailChimp or whatever you want. The world is your oyster. What I can also do is I can go back to the endpoint section and I can edit this, and I can at any time add any fields. I can enable HTML form posting, and what I want to do is I actually want to include a webhook. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to create an API slash webhook slash route.ts, and here we're going to do export default function. We're going to do a post request, and here we're just going to return next response. We're going to do .json. Here it works. And basically what I just want to make sure that I get the data. So we're going to do request, next request, and then we're just going to do const request body equals to await request.json. I don't have to, oh, I do have to await this. I just have to add async here. I forgot the async. Perfect. And then all I want to do is console log request body to see if I get the information. So what I'm going to do is we have this endpoint here. Now I'm going to do bun run dev again. And then in a separate terminal, I'm going to do ngrok http 3000 so we can have a publicly exposed endpoint. So yeah, here's the full URL right here. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste this here. It's going to be /API/webhook. And one thing I have to do is let me go back, and then in my middleware, I just need to make sure I can access, this was, nope, sorry. I can access /API/webhook, save that, and then we're good here. This is great. So we're going to do update endpoint. That should update for us. Perfect. Now I'm going to go back to endpoint. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and submit another email. Let's just submit this email. And this email was submitted. Yeah, this is embarrassing. The reason why it didn't work is because I had default. I'm not supposed to do that. So we're going to submit this again. I'm just going to do another email. All right, submission worked. And then you can see here, request body, email, mahalayordanos4@gmail.com. What's awesome about this is I can set this up where, let's say a form gets submitted and then I can fire some sort of action. I can have some sort of zap, whatever it is. I can do a lot with this webhook. So I just booted up Windsurf, and basically what I want to do is I want to make the waitlist form pretty. So I'm going to say make the waitlist form end page pretty, and then I'm going to tag waitlist. I'm just going to tag the whole thing. So I just wanted to make the form pretty, and we're going to let AI do that. So the AI is done. Look how beautiful this waitlist form is. And the only thing I've done is I added a link to waitlist. So when someone goes on my page now, they're going to click on join waitlist, and they're taken to this. To show off the ability of Router.so, I can create like one from scratch. And when I click, let's just say a name here, and I click create endpoint, I can basically, when I click on it, I can basically build one from scratch. So you don't even have to run that command. You can build one from scratch. They have all the information here. So that's pretty much it. That is how you build a waitlist contact us form, anything to do with forms, in a very beautiful, magnificent Next.js native way. Check out Router.so. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will chat with you soon. Peace.